What's up, man? How y'all doing this evening? I'm finna start talking, even though ain't nobody in here yet. I feel like when y'all play this video back after it's over, you don't want to hear a bunch of silence in the beginning, so I'm gonna just start talking. So tonight, I made I made a post a couple days ago, and I was asking everybody to share what y'all was concerned with in the world right now, and few people chimed in. So I'm gonna follow up on that because I think a lot of y'all had a lot of good points to make. A few topics that were interesting that are pretty common, but I haven't seen expanded on. Not lately, anyway. So tonight, that's what it's gonna be, man. I'm just gonna address some of the things that y'all was talking about. So I'll wait until we get a little bit of an audience before I start expanding on that. I hope everybody doing well. Um, this weekend has come to a close. I'm not ready for this weekend to be over. To be 100% honest with you, I really honestly didn't think I was gonna go live tonight. I was gonna do it last night. I really didn't feel like it. I really don't feel like it right now. To be 100% candid with you, however, consistency requires dedication. So that's what we doing tonight. Uh, yeah. So let's get down to these questions, man. I'm gonna write these down, man, real fast. And I appreciate everybody that did share something on my post that I shared a couple days ago. As I always say, if I can serve as a voice for people who really don't want to put themselves out there, get online and talk about things, this is an avenue that you can always use, because that's what I'm all about, man. I'm not the best teacher. I wouldn't consider myself a teacher, but I know a few things. You know what I'm saying, and I'm never above learning something new. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't know everything. I ain't finna sit up here and act like I do. So I got a few things I want to talk about tonight, but I really want to give people a chance to get in here and share something that might have been on their mind first before I jump into before I jump into my thing. Feel free to chime in with a question too if you got one, or just if you just want to holler at your boy, say hi or whatever. But if you new to this is I guess you could call it Square Business Live. If you don't know me, and I'm sure you do because you couldn't see this live unless you were friends with me on Facebook. My name is Rodney Sorrell. I am the co-host of the Square Business Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in tonight. If you new to this new thing that I've been doing, I figured out what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call this live segment "Come Take This Walk with Me," and really, it's just gonna be about, you know what I'm saying, like put that arm around you, like big bro, come take this walk with me, man. Come talk to me. So it could be a therapy session, could be, you know what I'm saying, you just seeking counsel on something. I feel like I'm qualified. So just consider me your big bro on a mental health tip. So for I see a few other people chimed in. What I was saying earlier, I made a post a couple days ago, said I was going to be addressing some things because I had some things to talk about, but also I asked everybody to share what they were concerned with in the world as of right now. So a few people chimed in, and I'm gonna follow up on some of those things that they said. But I'm writing these down. Hold on. I'm only writing down. It was actually quite a few. I'm only writing down a few though that I feel like I can expand on. But how y'all living though? I hope everybody, if you attended Woody Fest last night, I hope you enjoyed that. I know the baby didn't get to do his thing. Um, I heard it was. I mean, I seen all type of posts, all type of lives, and it looked like it was lit. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. But if you like me and you just been kicking it all weekend, enjoying some R&R, you know what I'm saying, some peace and quiet, or whatever you like to do this weekend, I hope you've been enjoying yourself and just kicking it, man, getting some rest, man. That's what it's all about. Living, okay. It's the last one I'm gonna write down. I got four different things. I'm just concerned about the lack of empathy in the world. We're so desensitized. No one can be vulnerable or authentic about their own lives without facing backlash. Yeah, man, I would agree with that. I think that I would agree that we are desensitized, but I also think that a lot of people live in a and they have a wall up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got a wall up, and I feel like the downside to having a wall up too long is you create this emotional bubble around yourself. And I think that plays a part in the desensitization of the world around us. So I guess what I mean by that is if we don't allow ourselves to be vulnerable for a long period of time, we we don't know how to to be vulnerable or authentic, as you said. And the backlash, honestly, man, I've been thinking about this for a long time. The backlash, I don't feel like it's nothing we could do about that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that have wronged us in this life, even people that we've wronged, um, I could share a personal experience. Like earlier in my life, um, I wronged somebody, right? And at the time, I wasn't really, obviously, I wasn't thinking about how it made them feel or, just their whole thought process and what I really put them through emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And I done lost track of what I was saying. Um, oh, yeah, I put them through something emotionally, right? Wasn't paying attention to how it affected them emotionally, spiritually, and all of that. But really, what I didn't know at the time, but now looking in retrospect, what I can understand now is that, you know, if they would have spoke out about it, that would have invoked fear in me because now at that time I would have been thinking like, well, what are people gonna think about me when they find this out? What are people gonna think of me when they figured out I did this? Like they're gonna be like, Rodney did that to you? Like out of all people, him? but none of us are above correction. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what a lot of I think that's the biggest reason for so much backlash when people finally speak out about things that have been done to them, things that have been said to them. And really, everybody has the right to explain how they feel, or how something somebody said or did made them feel. You know, I think everybody's entitled to that right, but I think the backlash is rooted in fear because people want to keep up a an image about what people think about them, and honestly, we have no control over what people think about us, no matter what we do. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in a small town, people already think about you a certain way, and they we put people in a box, whether we want to believe that or not. We put people in a box. It's common. It's human nature. You know what I'm saying? We're habitual by nature, and we put things in a box because it's easier to think about things that way. Now, I don't know what people think about me per se, but I grew up a shy kid. I always was trying to fit in. I personally felt like I was too lame for the cool kids, but too cool for the lame kids. I don't know where I fit on that spectrum. You know what I'm saying? But it was what it was at the time. And really, all I'm trying to say with that is living in a small town, like people already think about you a certain way. Like they look at me, be like, "Oh, that's the cameraman." Probably nowadays, like I have a whole name. My name is Rodney, but when I'm at events and stuff, people like, "Hey, yo, cameraman." Like in the back of my head, I'm like, I got a name. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't that deep. So I probably didn't explain that the best, but yeah, I think everybody has the right to talk about their experiences and how people made them feel. And it's not, when you do that, it's not that you trying to tear them down. You're not trying to drag them and all that stuff. You need to get that out for yourself. You know, it's a cathartic experience, you know, and that's what people don't understand. It's like, I'm not even doing this because I'm trying to like out you. I need this for myself. I need to let this go because I've been holding this in for years. And James Swain, the topic that we talking about right now is the lack of empathy in the world, being desensitized to it, you know, just expecting people to be mean to each other. You know what I'm saying? Just lack of concern and for the next man. But yeah, man, this is like I'm doing this for me. You know what I'm saying? I got to get this out, and sometimes the only way that somebody can do that is to share online and connect with other people because this is just the world we live in. We live in a digital world today. It's still good, you know, to get out, go touch grass. You still need to do that. However, a lot of the time, people might not have, you know, a close inner circle, or they might not have somebody that they could just call and you know get that stuff off. So sometimes, you know, it happens online. It's not that we trying to embarrass anybody or embarrass ourselves. We just need to talk about something, and sometimes best way to do it is just jump on here, you know what I'm saying, and give your spiel. Unfortunately, that makes other people uncomfortable, but that's not your problem. You know what I'm saying? So, total. Gonna switch the conversation a little bit right here. This is just something that's been on my mind. This is very random. Y'all gonna be like, "What? Where did this come from?" But and this has happened on more than one occasion. I don't know if y'all, maybe y'all experienced this before. So I've been a little perturbed about people you grow up with, right? You go to school with them, then you get grown, and then you see them out. in public, right? And you know when somebody is like actively avoiding you. Now, nobody owes me a hello. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to, you see me out and we grew up together, we went to school together or whatever. You don't owe me a hello. You ain't got to say hi to me. You know what I'm saying? I graduated high school in 2011. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious. I just find it a little weird that people that you went to high school with actively avoid you nowadays, like when they see you out. I just feel like that's kind of weird. But at the same time, I don't feel like anybody should be obligated to speak to me. And in the same token, I'm not finna hawk you down and be trying to like dap you up, like make you say hi to me. You know what I'm saying? It's really not that serious. I just think it's a little weird that you actively avoiding me. If that, am I making sense here? Like you see somebody out and you could literally just walk straight past me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta say hi. You ain't gotta do none of that. But you see me in Walmart or Kroger or something. You ducking behind aisles and like trying to get out the way. It's like, bro, do what you came to do. Like I'm not finna run up on you and be like, hey, how you been? Like how's things? Asking you a million questions. You know, I don't know. I just find that a little weird. Find it a little weird. And you know what? One would say, well, why does that bother you so much? Why do you even care about that? And I've had that conversation before, and I said that it doesn't bother me. However, I don't know. Maybe it do. I feel like it doesn't, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it do. I just think it's a little weird. It was never that serious. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on walking. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you do want to speak, you know what I mean? I'm not going to act weird, act like I ain't never knew you. I just find that weird when people act like they never knew each other. You know what I'm saying? But maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm being petty. Anyway, so we talked about the lack of empathy in the world. Um, I completely agree. I think we truly treated people the way we wanted to be treated. The world would be truly different. I agree with that. I said on a live before that I didn't know if humanity would reach such a level of atonement. I would hope that it would. I have a lot of faith in God, me personally. So I think that anything is always possible. Do I know if it will happen or not? No, I do not. Justin, what up, bro? He said, on a personal level, I found that holding myself accountable every day, both in my personal life and professionally, helps me. And I say that all the time. I say it all the time. The best thing you could do, or one of the best things you could do, that's such a common phrase that we use is the best thing you could do. But one of the best things you could do is hold yourself accountable every day in personal and professionally. You know what I'm saying? You got to be consistent with that. It doesn't matter what setting you in. You got to be always be authentically you. You know what I'm saying? Because people can see through that. I'm gonna say it again. People know when it's in you and not on you. We live in a small place, and you know people nosy. They gonna figure you out, fam. Ashley, she said this and the joy killers, people who constantly find people doing their own thing and enjoying life as cringe. That is a good one. Can we please start teaching these adults about don't yuck someone else's yum? I like that take. I like that take. Um, yeah, man, it's really that simple, man. People just they be hating. You know what I mean? They be hating. I feel like it takes 3 times the energy to be negative about something than to be optimistic about it. For example, if someone, if you simply see someone being themselves, living their life in a certain way, you might not necessarily agree with the way they live in their life. But you got to ask yourself, well, you got to tell yourself, you ain't got to ask yourself nothing, but you got to tell yourself, bro, you have no control. You barely have control over your own life. Who are you to tell somebody else how to live theirs? You know what I mean? And like my brother Justin said, you hold yourself accountable and in your in all aspects, man. That's where real influence comes from. If you want to influence, if you want to be an influencer, you be yourself, man. You be you, and you be unapologetically you. Be respectful though. You know what I'm saying? But just be you, man. And you gonna make an impact. That's what impact is all about, man. People watch and people pay attention, man. More people pay attention than you think they do. But I'm also say this again. You're never as important as you think you are, which is why you need to be so diligent in holding yourself accountable. Looking in that mirror and stop judging folks, man. Nothing good is gonna come from judging folks, because the more you judge folks, the more you putting the target on your own back. Somebody gonna pull your card. James said, "Why do you think it's hard for people to be authentic in today's society?" I feel like we have steered away from that. I think it's hard for people to be authentic because being authentic ain't always cool. You know what I mean? And living in a what is becoming an automated world, it's like everybody. I don't want to say everybody want to be the same, but because the world is becoming automated, it just feel like everybody is a bot. You know what I'm saying? Authenticity is becoming a rarity. It was already a rarity, but it really is. It's like, how can I put this? It's like you dumpster diving for the real, man. To be authentic is to be what I would consider not brash, but brazen almost. To be different, you're gonna stand out. A lot of people always say they want to stand out, but they really don't. Because when you stand out, you get criticized more. People fear being criticized. Humans naturally want to blend in the world, you know? And that mentality is, I already got enough problems. I don't need this target on my back. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people that want to start a podcast, it usually don't. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it usually don't work out. But starting starting a podcast, and this is just an example. I'm not like singling out podcasts, but just as an example of being in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people start a podcast and they fear being canceled. Like Taylor was saying earlier, being criticized for. Let me go back because I don't want to misquote. People being vulnerable or authentic about their own lives, and that's just an example. Like, people fear being canceled if they say the wrong thing or they're not being politically correct. And I just feel like, man, be you, man. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. You gonna have to live with whatever that is. But I think it's always better to be authentic, man. I would rather know that, me personally, I would rather know that who doesn't care for me, who doesn't like me, who feels some type of way about me, or the things that I say or the things that I do, rather than somebody hating from the shadows. See, man, what up, bro? He said same thing with supporting each other. Big thing, man. I think we should support each other, even if we don't always agree with what one or the other is doing. But I think that we should always support each other. And I always say, especially in the black community, I'm always say that. Definitely agree with that. But yeah, man, you gotta keep it real, man. Always keep it real, man. Don't worry about the bots and the people hating and something. Somebody always gonna have something to say. Um, it really don't even matter, bro. Cause who gon' who gonna stop you? You know what I'm saying? You keep doing you. It's really that simple. Um, oh, I also want to say, I forgot to say it in the beginning. Everything that I talk about on these lives is not a reflection or a depiction of any entity that I'm affiliated with. This is strictly my own personal thoughts and opinions, and they are just opinions. Um, it is not a it is not a campaign for anything that I'm affiliated with. Just want to let that be known. My bad, I had to check on something. Another thing that somebody chimed in and said, they were talking about AI, or really just AI in general, and with ads and stuff being posted everywhere, people are believing everything that they see online. It's hard to tell what's AI and what's not. In my best, I can only tell you the way that I see it. I kind of know AI when I see it because I have a photographer slash videographer mindset. So I can tell when something is off just by looking at it. I pay attention to frame rates. Like, frame rate, I mean the speed that something is moving in each frame, in each scene of a commercial, a game, a just an AI generated video. Like, I can just look at it and tell. Like, at this point I gotta train. I've been messing with cameras and just media for almost a decade now. So I know it most of the time, more often than not, when I see it. But I think I think this current generation, I really can't say. I'm a millennial, so I look at things a certain way. And millennials are kind of in the middle. We got the experience like before the internet, and we still young enough to be able to adapt to it now, enjoy it, use it. I think that we as millennials though are endangered a little bit with the aspect of AI, because we our age range specifically, because we got to experience both sides, then in the 90s, the early 2000s, all the way up until now, seeing the entire transition of media and everything, and the evolution of gaming and all that stuff, man. I think we are addicted to nostalgia on a large scale. And my fear for us is that if we don't keep up with the way things are going, because I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, bro. The data centers and everything, with affecting the water and everything. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm not the most educated on it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not the most educated on that. James said, "Do you think AI is a good thing or a bad thing?" I think it's both. I think that it is good in the sense that it can make our lives a little bit easier. The problem is we should not become, in my opinion, fully reliant upon it, because when you become fully reliant on machinery, you know, we're already disadvantaged because a lot of us don't know trades. We don't know skills. Like a lot of us, most of us don't know how to hunt. We don't know how to garden. We don't know how to self-sustain at this point with the way things are going. But what I was saying about the data centers and everything, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. They're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Our community, our West Virginia communities, we are concerned, and I think we should be, because I mean, y'all see what's happening with the water and everything. It's starting to affect millions of people, and like I said, I'm not really educated on the whole thing. I would like to do my research before I really go deep diving into that. I think it can be a good thing. Right now, I would say that it's more bad than good, because I mean, we see what it's doing to our state. But I think also we gotta realize AI ain't going nowhere. So I guess, and we gotta figure it out, man. We can only take it a day at a time, but I don't really know right now. So I'm not going. I can't go too deep into that. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'll just be rambling. You know what I mean? And I don't like to do that. You know what I'm saying? I like to make informed decisions, and even if I'm just guessing, I would like for it to be an educated guess. He said, my personal opinion is I think it's a bad thing. I think we're moving way too fast. I would agree with that. I know the situation in Huntington with the cameras and everything. I don't know. I don't like it either, man. I don't like it. I think a lot of good can come from it, but we got to figure out like the safest way to do that, if there is a safe way to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, AI is man, that's a tough one, man. And I'm gonna say another thing about millennials, man. I feel like, bro, I'm biased, yo. We got it wrong, bro. Student loans. We was 17, 18, 19 years old signing promissory notes. You know what I'm saying? Most of us went to college because we felt like that was just the right thing to do, is what we grew up and were told to do. You know, you got to go to school, you got to get a degree and all this stuff, man. And now a lot of us are stuck with over $100,000 in student loan debt. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if we'll ever get that stuff paid off? And they keep throwing us a little seed of hope, talking about, yeah, this week they said they was gonna cancel student loan debt for over 500,000 qualified borrowers, or something like that. You see it all the time. I done seen it multiple times, man. They keep throwing us a little rope of hope. We reach our hand out, and then they pull the rope back. Like, gotta be quicker than that. You know, I'm very biased when it comes to my generation, and the cards that we was dealt, man. I feel like we got done dirty. You know what I mean? And I hate that older generations look at it like, well, you should have known what you was doing. Like, you should be more responsible. You should have known before you signed that note. Bro, we 17, 18, 19 years old, signing promissory notes to pay back loans, bro. We didn't have no money. We kids. We was kids, bro. How was we supposed to know? You know what I'm saying? Nobody taught us about loans and interest rates and all that stuff, man. I would have liked to known that type of stuff. I wish we would have got taught that type of stuff. But the reality was we was not taught about that. The closest thing to that I was probably taught at Woodrow Wilson High School in 2011 when I was a senior was accounting. That's the closest thing to we didn't learn about paying no taxes. We didn't learn about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if is that in high schools now? Like, are we doing that? Is that even an option? Marlon said 105 in student loan debt. Hey, bro, I feel you. I feel you, bro. I totally understand. We was not taught none of that. None of it. And you know what? I think because of those types of things, all those types of things, like we are trying, we just living every day trying to survive just like everybody else. But I think us specifically, man, we really got it bad. I feel like. And like I said before, man, like with AI and everything, seeing the progression of everything. Man, hold on, bro. Hold on. All right, check me out, right? Check me out. This right here, right? This what we got right now. This right here, I can't speak for everybody, but as a man, and it's not just a man thing, but as a man, right? This type of stuff keeps keeps us occupied. You know what I'm saying? And also the generations today. It keeps us distracted. It takes us away from reality. And I think that AI already plays a big part in the gaming industry. You might not know that, but it plays a very big part. And it's about to get bigger. But these things right here, man, they keep us distracted, they keep us occupied. Now I'm not finna sit here and act like I don't game. I do. However, I practice very hard to to try and stay in reality, man. You gotta touch grass. You know what I'm saying? This right here, though, is a very big distraction for us and this current generation. But I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something right here where we talking about the progression, right? Where we got to see how everything started. You know what I'm saying? With no AI around, with none of that. We started with this, bro. I know y'all see that. What y'all know about that, man? What y'all know about that right there? We started with that, man. Wasn't no memory cards, wasn't no downloads. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to download the game before you played the game and all that, man. You put this in, bro, and you was on your way. Everything was already on here. I'm gonna show y'all another one. I know y'all definitely don't know about that. Let me see if y'all can see that. Do y'all even know what this go to? If you grew up in the 90s, you probably know. That's that Sega Genesis right here, man. You don't even know about that. But that's why I love, like I said, I'm very biased. I love my generation, man. We got to experience it all, man. So I guess that's where we find some joy still, and just try to find solace from everything that's going on in this crazy world, man. We try to find solace in that, distracting ourselves. But a big thing, one of my personal opinion, we got to, nostalgia is great, memories are great, but we gotta know how to move forward, man. We gotta secure the future for those who coming after us, man. And the world is becoming so individualized now that we feel as if it is not our responsibility to still pave the way for those coming after us, man. It's very important, man. We still gotta set an example for these young people, man. Even though we still feel like we young enough, and we want to enjoy our lives, and we want to travel, and we want to do all these things, bro. We at that point now. Like, I'm 33. We at that point right now, bro. We gotta start paving the way for the next wave, man. It's very important. It's very important. But what else is on y'all minds, man? Like, how y'all feeling about the world right now? Like, what's your biggest concern? Well, not your biggest concern. What else are you concerned with? I think I might do another episode where I got quite the collection, y'all. If we want to talk about nostalgia, we can get into that. I got plenty. I don't think tonight would be the night to do that because we on a more serious tip. But I think I'm gonna go into that, man. For my gamer folks, we gonna have a little discussion, man. But tonight we keeping it thorough. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and move to another one, man. Somebody was talking about the cost of living. Man, look, when is gas going down? That's all I'm concerned with that, man. Gas need to go down. What even is gas right now? Is it still $4? Let me know. I don't even be paying attention. And another one thing to be getting me, man, is people be like, gas almost $4, gas almost $5. I think it's some BS too. But what you gonna do? Walk? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still gotta pull up to the pump. You still gotta get the gas. You feel me? Like, what you gonna do? Walk? I ain't walking. Look, my walking days is over with. I thank God for the ability to walk still. I do a lot of it, but you know what I'm saying? We gotta get to and from every day. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do. Jan said I feel like that should be taught to the next generation by us, not the school systems or anything like that. So let's get into that. I think that's true. I talk about that all the time, man. We gotta, if the schools, first of all, shout out to all the teachers, man. If you are an educator, if you work in the education school system, man, like, I'm talking about the teachers, man, like really putting in that work, really trying to work with these kids and teaching them. And you know what I'm saying? If you holding it down and you an educator, man, shout out to you. All the respect in the world. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world. Uh, and y'all don't get paid nearly enough. So shout out to all the educators. Now, the school systems, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a little situation going on with school consolidations and curriculum changes and all that kind of thing, man. It seems to me that we are moving away from public education. I feel like the higher ups, maybe not everywhere, but I feel like the higher ups are trying to place the responsibility into the parents' laps any way that they can, little by little. The problem with that, a lot of these kids don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? They might have one parent. You know what I'm saying? It might be a single parent household. That parent might work 12, 16-hour shifts. They don't have all the time in the world to connect with their children. Now, one would say, well, that's their fault. They should figure it out. How they supposed to do that? I don't feel like nobody answered that question. How they supposed to do that and provide a roof for them? I do think that's not an excuse for parents. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any children myself yet, but I would think that as a parent, I would try to instill as many skills and things into my child as I could. Jay said the military is the biggest cheat code to life. Hey man, you know, I was told that when I was in my early 20s. You know what I'm saying? I tried to shout out to UJ, holding it down, Air Force. Um, Appreciate you, bro, for standing on that line and serving this country, man, and contributing to the protection of us and all civilians in our country. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. I love you, bro. Military is the biggest cheat code of life, man. Um, I tried to go back in 2015. It didn't work out for me. I guess it wasn't in the cards for me, but I definitely tried. Man, I can't believe that. Looking back at it now, I can't believe that I actually convinced myself to go. But there is a big, yeah, set you up financially. All medical pays for it, school paid for it. Man, I didn't the little bit of time that I did spend like with my recruiter and stuff, I was learning a little bit more about it. And a big misconception about the military is that like you sign up and then you just go straight overseas and then you know what I'm saying, they just throw you to the wolves, they throw you in the fire. It's not really like that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Jay. I think that it would be a good route. I mean, it teaches kids discipline, it teaches them responsibility, and that's something that our young people really need. And I will fully agree with that, man. It teaches you just discipline, discernment, all basically all life skills. You know what I'm saying? While being able to enjoy all the benefits of it, like Jay said. But referring back to the schools, I do think that parents should be more hands on with their children. But like I said, all parents might not be able to spend a whole bunch of time. And I'm sure it's a lot of parents that experience guilt because of that. But I'm saying, a lot of parents just out there trying to hold it down, man, trying to keep their head above water, trying to keep a roof over their head. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always as easy as just saying, well, it's the parents' responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But I do think I said that before in another live. I said, bro, everybody want to talk about the YNs and um, all the bad things that they doing, but somebody gotta get out here. We gotta talk to them, bro. Like, ain't nobody talking to them. They probably looking at life like ain't nobody gonna help me no way. So I gotta go out here and I gotta take what I gotta take. Like, take. You know what I'm saying? Cause ain't nobody giving them nothing. I ain't talking about money, but ain't nobody giving them no game. Ain't nobody giving them no love. They're not. There's something that they are lacking, bro. Structure, guidance, a good example. You know what I'm saying? So many things that a kid needs, especially in those early teenage years. That's when they really soak things up. I'm talking 12. I'm talking 13 to 18. That is one of the most important times in your life because At 12, 13, you really start forming concrete ideas. You really start forming a sense of identity, trying to figure out who you are, where you fit in this world, and you retain a lot of information during that time. You know, kids, little kids, they soak everything up. They're very observant. But that 13 to 18, that is a crucial time because the way the world, the way the system looks at these kids, once you are 18, bro, and you get out here and you doing just anything to any treating people any kind of way and just being belligerent, man. I've seen, bro. I do social work, so I've observed like kids as young as I'm talking 13, 14 on GPS bracelets, man. Like just out here just doing anything, bro. And I've also observed the parents of some of these young folks, and it just seemed like they just don't care, bro. Like they ain't got no opinion on it. They feel like they can't, ain't nothing they can say or do to help. Like they ain't even trying. Like this is sad, bro. It's sad. They said that's the worst. That's the worst part about having kids, feeling like you weren't spending enough time. I could only imagine what that feels like, man. I have two kids at 23, and hold up, I never really understood that time fly by. To, hey, man, like I said, I can only imagine, but bro, that's got to be tough. I know that's got to be tough. So it's and then all these little caveats is what I'm saying, man. Like system just look at everything like it's black and white, and you either gonna do it like this or you gonna do it like that, and you gonna struggle. But it's like, bro. But then I be wondering myself. I be like, okay, if the system like takes all these things into account, the higher ups take all these things into account, are they gonna be able to accommodate everybody's specific needs? I always wonder about that. I don't have the answer to that, but I would really like to know. And that leads me to saying this, man. Your local government is a lot more important than who your president is. Now, I ain't even finna get into that. I'm not getting into that. But your local government, we need to we need to start really paying attention to who we got in these seats, man. And research them, study them, learn about them. You know what I'm saying? Contact them, ask them questions. We gotta know what's going on because the local government directly affects your life on a daily basis. That's what we really need to be paying attention to is the local government, man. That's really what we gotta pay attention to. But listen, man, if ain't nobody got no other questions, man, I've been on here for about an hour. Um, like I said, next time we might get into I might expand on nostalgia a little bit. I might show y'all my collection or something. It's pretty expansive, I must say. But as far as my last post on my page that I did when everybody chimed in about what they was concerned about, I appreciate y'all chiming in and sharing a little bit of y'all thoughts, man. Again, these are just my personal opinions and thoughts. So I'm happy that y'all jumped in here, chopped it up with your boy. I will definitely be back. Might be tomorrow, might not. But I give y'all a preface. I'll let y'all know, man. But until next time, I'm gonna get up with y'all. Y'all stay. My wife just said about that time. That's my time, y'all. I gotta go. But yeah, man, I will be back this week. This getting ready to start, man. We gonna chop it up about a few things. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Square Business Live. Me and Kurt, I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on with the podcast real quick. Me and Kurt are gearing up. We figuring out our dates and how we gonna structure the rest of season three. If you haven't checked it out, check out episode 1 and 2 of season three. And if you haven't even tuned in to our channel, man, we got almost 30 videos worth of content. You know what I'm saying? Probably about I say 30 to 35 hours of content. So make sure y'all check that out. We on Facebook and we on YouTube as well. Square Business Podcast, BIDNESS. Check us out, man. We also are planning to do another live show at some point this year, later on this year. I'll keep y'all updated on that when we figure everything out. Um, Appreciate y'all, man. God bless you. Have a good evening. As always, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And keep holding it down, man. Keep y'all head up. Trouble don't last always, man. Keep holding it down. All right.